Okay, yeah, it should be recording now. Okay, so I've posted the introductory message for you. I hope you have read through it. If you look at the calendar here on the right, you have a whole bunch of deadlines coming up with assignments. It is very important that you keep to these very strictly and that you are diligent, because the course, as you can see, moves very quickly. So there's something due almost every 2 or 3 days there's something due. The biggest assignments are Neil Postman presentation and assignment number 2. But the assignments that are coming up in the next few days are the online quiz and ethical dilemma assignment number 1. Okay, so the online quiz can be found under quizzes. Okay, so you have the online quiz here, and it closes on May 13th. Now, the online quiz is about the content from the first 2 weeks. Sorry, from the first 2 days. So if you look at the content, it is divided into dates. So today we have an introduction, May 10th. So basically each day represents 1 week, because we are in a 4x4, we're running a 4x4 format. So May 10th today, 11th tomorrow, 12th, and then 13th. And then your online quiz will be based basically on the ethical theories. So if you look at each day or each week, you will see an introduction, basic concepts, ethical reasoning. Basically, you will see the lessons. So the first day or two, actually the first 3 days are about ethics and ethical theories. And assignment number 1, ethical dilemma, is based on the information from the first 2 to 3 days, okay, on ethics. And then later on, we will move into specific technologies. We will analyze specific technologies from the perspective of ethics. So, for example, an assignment like the Neil Postman presentation, for which I have posted the instructional videos here for you. You just click on the links, and there are additional rubrics and instructions for creating a video presentation. You can do a video presentation, or you can do a PowerPoint presentation with video and audio files. So that is all explained here. Now, I will come back to the online quiz and ethical dilemma, but just to get you up to speed very quickly, in order to do the Postman presentation, you need to sign up for groups. So for the Postman presentation and for assignment number 2, you need to sign up for groups. These are group assignments. And under groups, you will see 2 major categories: assignment number 2 and Postman presentation. So make sure that you switch between the 2 when you want to sign up for groups. So Postman presentation is first. So this is what I suggest you do today. Sign up for any group, that is for any technology that I have listed here. Social media, information technology like Grammarly, for example, gene editing, electric and self-driving cars, COVID-19 vaccine, mRNA, artificial intelligence, robotics. Okay, you can sign up for any group. And once the group fills up, so here we already have 2 people, 2 students, you will work in groups of ideally 5. Okay, sometimes there might be 4 students or 3 students, but ideally we'll see how many students sign up. over the next 2 days. And then once you have your group, once your group is full, 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, or even 2 out of 5, you can start connecting with students who are in your group. Okay, so for example, for social media, I can view enrollment here, and we have Patel and Albino. Okay, so you should get in touch with each other as soon as possible. Under communications, you have a class list, and you can find the email of your classmates or your group member. Okay, so make sure you email them, exchange phone numbers, and get on this as soon as possible. The same thing with assignment number 2. Yes, you can join a group right now. Okay, so the same thing with assignment number 2. Assignment number 2, you just have to change the category. Now, okay, it's as a default, it's in assignment number 2. So again, you get specific technologies or activities that you will have to engage in and then do research in order to do this assignment, and also a short presentation, a video presentation. So sign up for as soon as possible for any of these technologies and activities. And once you get once you get students in your group, then start communicating with each other as soon as possible, because again, this course moves very quickly. The sooner you move, the sooner you can get done. I mean, the sooner you can get your work done, but also before that, you can make progress. Yes, if you have any questions, just speak up.
Yeah, so how do we get on the group? Like, where do I go to sign up on the group?
Yeah, groups are under communication. And then you see, you open the communication tab, and then you have groups here. See that? For assignment number 2. Say again?
I said, got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Hello, Professor. I want to ask about the ethical dilemma assignment 1.
Yes, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so again, the postman presentation and assignment number 2 are group presentations, and please be diligent, professional, communicate as soon as possible, do your work, because again, we are moving very quickly. Laziness or tardiness or unprofessional behavior will not be tolerated. So if anyone in your group is not doing the work, is not responding, just make sure you email me. Make sure you copy everyone in your group to my email, so that I know who is in your group, and so that I can follow up on any problems or irregularities. And if someone is acting unprofessionally, is not responding in any way, then please let me know, and then that person will be removed from a group and most likely given a 0. Okay, so please treat this seriously, because again, this is a fast-paced course and everyone needs to be on board and on point and acting professionally. All right, so please keep that in mind, because I will not have time to tolerate any unprofessional behavior. Now, assignment number 1 is based on the first 2. So before you do assignment number 1, okay, let me take a, someone has their hand up, yes? If you have a question, then just interrupt me.
Question, but it's about the assignment number 2.
Yes.
It's just for the assignment, can I choose just one product to use as an experiment?
Yes, but as long as it fits in the category that you have signed up for.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one more question. In the introduction, you said that the course finished in the 31 June.
Yes.
June. Because I saw when I applied for these courses,
Oh, sorry, no.
4 weeks.
No, sorry, my mistake. This should be
Oh, okay.
May
Okay.
31st. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just, that's my mistake. Let me just, fix that.
So the final exam will be on the 31st May or 1st June.
Yes. So again, you can look at the course outline schedule, and you have also the schedule here on eCentennial when you go through the modules. And yes, sorry, not June, but May, my bad. Again, I'm just going to change this really quickly. Maybe some of my changes were not saved properly. That's why we have these typos. Yes, so May 31st is your final test, and it's going to be an online test. And it's going to be a cumulative test based on all the modules. So for the online quiz, again, you go to assignment and quizzes. Now that's your first quiz. That's going to be based on the first few days. So introduction to ethics, ethical frameworks. Make sure you study these two modules, and the quiz is going to be based on these two modules. Okay. So you study the first two modules first, and then you do the quiz, not before, because if you don't study, then you won't do well. Now, I also will see you tomorrow or hear from you tomorrow. And if you have any questions in regards to the content, then you can ask me. Then, because at this point, I don't have time to explain. Plus, the modules are designed so that you go through them yourself. And you study them on your own, and then when you come back to class, you can ask me questions. You can ask me clarificatory questions.
I just have one question as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so for the classes, like obviously, I'm going to try and come to as many of them as I can, but are they mandatory if someone is working, or?
No, they're not mandatory. They're just basically designed to help you go through the material, answer any questions in regards to content or assignments. But no, they're not mandatory. I'm not taking attendance or anything like that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, just make sure you go through the modules because you don't want to fall behind. Whenever
Yeah,
that
of course, yeah.
Yeah, possible for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, assignment number 1 is under communication. I've created a discussion board. Instead of submitting a typical assignment, I've created a discussion board that's going to be a bit more interactive. So there are other discussion boards as well, such as on artificial intelligence and GMOs, genetically modified organisms. Make sure you follow the due dates and make sure you follow the instructions after you go over the modules for specific topics. But the instructions for ethical dilemma is again under discussion boards, and it's called also assignment number 1. So here, what your task is to choose any ethical dilemma. So here I said, I just want you to follow these instructions as much as you can. So first, I want you to, in a short paragraph but informative, describe an ethical dilemma. Remember, an ethical dilemma is a situation in which you have at least 2 different ethical options for an action, and each option has advantages and disadvantages. So here I give you some everyday examples. For example, considering the risks associated with current climate change, should I keep eating farmed meat or should I turn vegan? Should I keep driving my combustion engine car or switch to electric? Should I immigrate to Canada or stay in my country? Should I buy a new smartphone or repair my old one? Okay, to avoid electronic waste. You can choose any personal, local or global situation or affair and present it as a dilemma. If you are unsure, then just run it by me, ask me. Okay, so that's basically your first task, okay, is to come up with a situation. And we are all faced with ethical dilemmas on daily basis. Should I do A or should I do B? There are usually advantages for doing A, and there are usually advantages for doing B, and there are usually disadvantages associated respectively. Yes, you can use one of the examples listed, but you have to give it a proper description and context. So if you're talking about avoiding eating meat, then why is this important? What's involved? What's the context? What's the situation? Okay, and the same thing for other scenarios. You can talk about the war in Ukraine, the involvement of Russia. You can talk about consumption of natural gas. You can talk about, you can talk about any international affairs that are happening globally right now and present them as a dilemma. You can also talk about domestic problems, anything related to where you are right now or events unfolding in Canada. Okay, so it can be related to technology, it can be related to environment, it can be related to customer service, it can be related to politics, it can be related to healthcare, it can be related to anything as long as it is presented as a dilemma. Okay, so once you come up with this and describe it in a paragraph, once you give it a context so others can follow, and myself included, I want you to solve the dilemma with just choose one of the ethical theories. For example, utilitarianism, deontology, or virtue ethics. Solve here means show how any one of the theories, that is utilitarianism, deontology, or virtue ethics, and this you will have to study on your own in the modules, and then you can ask me any questions tomorrow. So solve here means show how any of the theories you have chosen solves your dilemma in 2 paragraphs, for example. So for example, you can say from a virtue ethics perspective, an action is deemed good if it promotes virtue, and vice versa. And then explain how this applies to your dilemma. How does virtue ethics help you solve your dilemma? Okay, and the same thing for any other theory. Here, I just give you an example to get you started, okay? So in your application of moral theory, you have to briefly explain what the theory is about or how it works, what is considered good or bad, what is considered ethical or unethical according to the theory, and then apply it to your scenario or apply it to your dilemma, that is. And then third, I will come to your question in a second, just let me finish here. And in third point, in one paragraph, 2 paragraphs actually, but 1 paragraph for each reply, that's worth 5 points. Okay, respond to at least any 2 ethical solutions from your classmates. So you will have access to all the ethical dilemmas from all of your students, and you can read any of them and engage any of them. Okay, so for example, you can say once you read your classmate's dilemma and solution, your response can be, for example, it doesn't have to be, but here I just give you an example. I think this is the right solution to your dilemma because you justify your response, or in addition to your solution, I would add that because, or I do not think your solution stems from virtue ethics or utilitarianism or deontology because, and you continue, or I understand your solution, but your dilemma can also be solved with utilitarianism or virtue ethics or deontology because. So you can follow these formulaic responses. You don't have to, but here I'm just giving you an example and trying to make your life a little bit easier. Again, because this is the fast-paced course. Now, whatever you say and however you argue, you must provide a justification or an explanation for why you think so. Okay, this is very important. If you say, I agree with you, I disagree with you, I agree with you, but I should also add, or it's important to add, or there's an alternative solution to your dilemma, you have to justify it. You have to explain yourself why you think that is the case. Okay, in the same way you're explaining yourself when you solve the dilemma. You can't just say, well, I think this is a good solution to your dilemma, period. That's not going to get you far, and you're not going to score many marks doing that. Okay, you have to justify it, you have to explain yourself. So whatever you do, make sure you explain yourself, provide reasons for why you think so. This needs to be written clearly and convincingly. If not, it will be clear that you do not understand your own position or do not know how to argue for it. Either way, make sure your writing is always clear, accurate, and logical, okay? So, don't just type something quickly and post it because you're worried you're going to lose marks. You are going to lose marks if it's incoherent or it's gibberish or it doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so when you do this, make sure you proofread your work and make sure you are on point and you are clear and careful. Otherwise, your work is not going to be clear to me and it's not going to be clear to your classmates. So that is basically assignment number 1, and you will do it on the discussion board. Now, once you post, then you will be able to reply to other people. But if you do not post anything, then you won't be able to reply to anyone else. Okay, that's the way the discussion board is set up. So the sooner you post, the sooner you will be able to reply. And then the sooner other people will be able to reply to your posts. No, you don't need to you don't need to upload any assignment number 1. You just follow these instructions.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
So can you pick a dilemma, like something that has already happened, and then write the paragraph about? Like an incident that has occurred in the media?
Yes, you can. Yes, or you can provide an, yes, you can.
So
do, yes.
do I get to put the link like you have it in there? Like after
You can, yes, you can provide a link if it's something related to that has already been,
Okay, got it.
publicized on any media platform. Yes, current.
So
Or
how many examples do you want? Or can you
Just
just pick one? Just
one
one and
dilemma, just one.
talk about it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, thank you.
Just one situation, one dilemma. Yes. And make sure you're applying only one theory. So when you go to the modules on theories, you need to study those first. And then if you have any questions tomorrow, I will help you understand additionally. So ethical frameworks here. You have introduction, utilitarianism, deontology, and virtue ethics. And once you go through these modules, it will be a lot clearer to you how the theories work. I mean, you won't be, you won't be proficient, you won't be an expert, but you will have a much better idea how the theories work, and you can figure out how to apply them. Again, we will have class tomorrow online, and I will take any questions you will have in regards to this. Now, in addition to this, you also have self-check quizzes. So in order to test yourself or to quiz yourself, I highly recommend to do the quizzes, because they will prepare you for the final test, and they will keep you, on point progressively as you move through the course.
So self-checker quizzes are based on the content.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so are there any questions? I'm just going to go back to the discussion boards and assignment number 1 here. So are there any questions in regards to this assignment? questions that I can answer right now? So you can see, you have to also look at the due dates. Available May 10th, and it will close May 15th. So you can start working on this today and make sure you submit it by the end date or the due date. No, I will change it to the end of the day. Yes. Are there any other questions? Don't be shy, because the sooner you ask questions, the sooner, you know, I can help you, and the sooner you can get your work done. Excuse me. So this assignment is worth 15%, and the first paragraph, 5 points, 10, then your analysis, your solution, 10 points, and then another 10 points, 5 points each for each response.
Points means we have to write the 5 sentences for the paragraph, or just key points, only key ideas in the first paragraph.
Yes. You know, it's a paragraph, right? It's a, you know, about a third or half a page, right? You know, anywhere from, I don't know, 100 words to 200 words. Okay, so that's a paragraph. So, but the most important thing is that you explain yourself clearly. I won't be counting sentences and I won't be counting words. That's not the point. The point is to present a situation, present a context or a situation that is a dilemma, that involves ethical thinking and that involves ethical action. Okay. So remember, a dilemma is where you have at least 2 options. You have to present it that way. Should one do A or should one do B? Should I do A or should I do B? What should anyone do in such a situation? Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be presented. And you know, you're not writing an essay here, so keep it short, but at the same time not too short, so that you are, you know, informative, so that you inform me and also your classmates what is happening, and so that I can give you full marks or adequate marks for your work.
And I have another question. For the weekly quizzes you have shown, will it be graded or not?
Say again?
The weekly quizzes and the content section,
Yes.
will it be graded or not?
No, they're not graded. They're just for you to follow
Practice.
your progress. Yes.
Okay.
But
Thank
they
you
will
so
be.
much.
They're important. They are important in terms of preparing you for the final test.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Assignment number 2. For assignment number 2, do we need to record ourselves or do we need to speak in class? No, assignment number 2, you have to read through the instructions. Okay, make sure you go to assignments, content. Make sure you familiarize yourself well with the course online and go through the document. So assignment number 2, you have instructions here. I will also help you during class with any questions. But no, assignment number 2 is you can create, there is a written document, which is a research piece. And then there's also a presentation part where you summarize your findings and your activities. And that can be done in you can create a video, or you can create a PowerPoint presentation or Prezi presentation or any form of presentation, as long as you create either short videos or audio files that are attached to your presentation. Or you can do a presentation and download it into YouTube and provide me a link for it. In any case, here I provided you steps for group video presentations that have been successfully used by students before. And you can follow those to do your presentations. So again, quiz number 1, sorry, the online quiz is the first evaluation coming up in the next 2 days based on the first 2 weeks, sorry, the first 2 weeks or the first 2 days, May 10th and May 11th. This is what you have to study first to do the online quiz on ethics. And then I suggest you you do the ethical dilemma or assignment number 1 after that. Don't forget that there are also other discussion boards. Make sure you follow the schedule, the weekly outline, and also the dates. So once you go over artificial intelligence, there's also a discussion board for that. That's worth 5%. Make sure you study the module, ask any questions in class, and follow the due dates. And the same thing for genetically modified organisms. Excuse me. Make sure you follow instructions, follow due dates, and engage in discussion boards. So I'll be here until 11:30. And if you have any questions, then just fire away, okay? And if not, then get to work. But I'll be here until 11:30.
Thank you, Professor. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care. Nice to meet you.
So what's the passing grade for this course?
50%.
60%?
No, 50.
Oh, we're gonna ace this then.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
A private message you.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Say again. Sorry.
A private message you.
Okay. I will respond to your email. If you have any questions related to anything or accommodations, then just email me, please.
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you. Yes, this recording will be posted. Emails of students and myself are under a class list. So if you go to communications and then you go to class list, and then you will see the class list and emails of all the students and myself. Make sure you expand it to 50 per page. Yep. Just going to check on the progress so far in terms of assigning the groups. Okay, thank you everyone. All the best.